Welcome to the deep dive. You've sent us a stack of sources that don't just talk about being successful, they talk about the architecture of success.
Right.
So today we're diving into the essential mechanics of learning and impact, specifically how to maximize your personal leverage.
Our mission today is all about the multiplier effect. I mean, we want to stop talking about linear progress, just doing one thing a little bit better, and start talking about exponential impact.
Yeah.
How do you take the skills you already have and give them this massive sudden boost?
Exactly. We're hunting for the X factors. The sources call them skill multipliers. And the idea is when you combine them with a core skill, they make that skill so much more valuable. It's this enhancer effect that turns your basic abilities into a real competitive edge.
It really is like finding the perfect synergy. I mean, take a technical video editor.
Okay.
Their core skills, cutting, editing, they have a linear value. They get paid per project or
Hour, yeah.
per hour. That's steady income.
Mm.
But if you combine those technical skills with, say, high-level communication, negotiation, and some proactive networking,
Ah, okay.
their value just skyrockets. They stop being someone who just executes orders, and they start, well, defining the project's vision, landing huge clients,
And multiplying their income.
far beyond what just cutting more video could ever do.
That distinction, linear versus exponential, is so critical. It really shows that the most valuable skills aren't always the deepest technical ones,
No, not at all.
but the ones that let you deploy those technical skills in the first place.
Precisely. And if we want to build a strategy around this, around multiplication, we need the right foundation.
Right.
The sources identify 3 core compounding skills that sort of build the scaffolding for everything else.
Okay, let's unpack those. What are these foundational 3? What's number 1?
The first one is emotional intelligence, or EI. Now, this sounds a bit cliche, I
A
know.
little bit, yeah.
But when we talk about it as a multiplier, we mean its ability to reduce friction and increase collaboration. A lack of EI is a massive cap on technical brilliance.
So you're saying that your brilliant idea doesn't matter if you alienate everyone you need to help you execute it.
That is the core of it. We all know that brilliant, technically skilled engineer whose career stalls out at middle management because they just can't handle feedback.
Or navigate office politics.
Exactly, or lead with any empathy. EI enhances your ability to understand team dynamics, anticipate that friction, and just smooth over those necessary social interactions.
Yeah.
It allows your technical skill to move fluidly,
Instead of constantly crashing into human obstacles.
Yeah.
It's a powerful way to put it. Okay, what's the second foundational multiplier?
Adaptability. I mean, in a world where every industry is being reshaped so quickly, especially by AI,
Rigidity is fatal.
it's fatal. Adaptability is that capacity to quickly learn from what you're doing and constantly adjust to new technology, new terrain.
It's the skill of learning how to learn, isn't it? It lets you pivot your main skill when the market just changes underneath you.
Absolutely. If your core skill is accounting and suddenly AI automates 80% of data entry, your adaptability lets you quickly learn the next level skill, maybe strategic financial forecasting,
While your peers are left behind.
while your non-adaptive peers are left performing, obsolete tasks.
And the third one. The sources seem to say it's the most fundamental of all.
That's self-discipline and time management. And I know what you're thinking. These sound more like prerequisites, not multipliers.
Yeah, a little bit. How does time management multiply a skill?
Well, it multiplies your output rate and your learning curve. Without discipline, your efforts are just erratic.
A bit all over the place.
Yeah, you might practice a skill intensely for a week and then drop it for a month. Self-discipline ensures that the practice is consistent. That means you get competent faster and you maintain the momentum you need to execute really complex, multi-stage projects. They're the scaffolding. They make building and executing all the other, more visible skills even possible.
I really appreciate that focus on consistency. So if self-discipline is the scaffolding, what's the structure it supports? I'd argue it's how you share and leverage that skill.
Yes.
Which brings us perfectly to the single most potent multiplier the sources highlight.
Communication. Communication determines how widely your knowledge spreads and how deeply your influence is felt. We saw some fascinating research that was focused on teaching,
Okay.
and it suggests a teacher's impact is roughly 50% subject matter knowledge and a full 50% interpersonal communication skills.
50-50. Wow. So if you're a genius, but you're a poor communicator, you're only operating at half capacity.
That's it. That's a stark measure of communication's value.
It really is.
And the sources dive deep into this, stressing that instructional clarity, which flows directly from strong communication, is one of the primary drivers of academic success. If you can distill complexity into simple, memorable language, you are dramatically multiplying the reach of your expertise.
But the research shows it's not just about clear language, it's about creating a relational environment too, isn't it?
Exactly. It touches on those social elements we just talked about with AI. Educators who master empathetic listening create what the source calls a liberator environment.
A liberator environment. What does that mean?
It's a space where the listener, whether it's a student, a client, an employee, feels completely safe to ask the hard questions,
To take risks.
to take intellectual risks,
All right.
and to admit when they don't understand something without any fear of judgment.
That's powerful. It means great communication isn't just about the person talking, it's about the psychological safety they create for the person listening.
And that leads to a massive multiplication in influence.
Mm-hmm.
If you can master public speaking, you move beyond just instruction. You can command attention, influence large groups, shift perception.
And inspire
You
action.
move from being someone who knows a lot to someone who can rally others based on that knowledge.
From a knowledgeable person to a change agent.
Right. And we
Yeah.
can't ignore the nonverbal impact here either.
Okay.
We're talking about how effective leaders and teachers use facial expressions, eye contact, and open body language
Yeah.
to convey this implicit support and build trust really quickly.
So it prevents disengagement before it even starts.
It does. I mean, if you want any skill you have to spread or be understood, communication is just. It's the indispensable anchor that allows your expertise to scale.
Okay, so if communication is the anchor, then technology is the rocket fuel accelerating that scale. And this is where we connect multiplication with modern career trends, specifically the explosive growth of AI.
AI isn't just some useful software. It's a profound individual skill multiplier. The sources highlight that the demand for AI fluency, just the ability to effectively use and manage these tools, has shot up 7-fold in the past 2 years.
7-fold. That's not a trend, that's a structural change in the workforce.
Yeah.
How does AI actually function as an enhancer for one person?
It achieves something called intelligence amplification. You're no longer limited by your own bandwidth. AI acts as an exponential workforce multiplier because it allows one person to command what are basically
Digital assistant.
digital agents, to perform these massive tasks. Think of complex research synthesis or preliminary coding or high-volume data wrangling.
So instead of hiring 2 interns and a researcher, one person with AI fluency can handle the output of that entire unit.
That's the idea.
They become a small, hyper-efficient enterprise.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that gives you incredible professional edge. We even have a hard hiring statistic on this.
Oh, yeah.
Business majors who graduate with high AI literacy and creative skills are hired 15% faster than their peers. Businesses are actively looking for people who can solve complex, messy problems by collaborating with these tools.
And this multiplication effect, it kind of starts in the learning environment itself, which is circular.
Yes. We see AI's role in personalized education, where it can provide real-time, specific feedback. This kind of personalized coaching has been shown to improve students' metacognitive abilities.
Their ability to think about how they think.
Exactly. Thinking about how they learn. It makes students better learners, which, as we said, is the ultimate skill multiplier.
Okay, so we've identified the foundational skills, the technological accelerant. Now we need frameworks to actually organize this approach. The source material gives us 2 really powerful mental models for this.
Right, and these frameworks help us aim for strategic competency instead of just burnout. The first is talent stacking, which is popularized by Scott Adams.
I love this concept. It frees you from the pressure of having to be the absolute best in the world at one thing.
That's the core insight. You don't need to be the global expert. You just need to aim to be in the top 25%, not the top 1%, in 2 or more complementary skills.
So by combining them, you move into a category with way less competition.
And much higher value. The key isn't individual depth, but the rare and uncommon combination.
The X factor combination.
Exactly. If you are, say, decent at writing, have solid business sense, and a genuinely good sense of humor, that combination makes you instantly more valuable and, critically, more memorable than someone who is just an expert in one crowded field.
And Adams is clear on this, right? He says communication should always be one of the skills in your stack.
Always. It's the ultimate multiplier for the others.
That's a really practical, accessible path to unique value. What's the second framework?
The second is metaskills, introduced by Marty Neumeier. And this concept is focused entirely on the future of work. It identifies 5 essential human talents that machines just can't replicate.
Okay, so skills that insulate us from automation. What are these 5 meta skills?
They are feeling, which means empathy, social intelligence, intuition. Then seeing, which is systems thinking.
Hold on, let's pause on seeing. What does systems thinking look like in practice outside of, say, an engineering context?
Okay, think about a business decision. Someone without systems thinking might suggest lowering the price to boost sales.
Right. Simple cause and effect.
A person with high seeing realizes that changing the price doesn't just affect sales. It affects inventory. It puts stress on the shipping department. It changes the stress levels of customer service staff. It alters how the product is perceived in the market.
It's the ability to map all the downstream effects.
Exactly. That gives you immense leverage.
So, feeling, seeing. What are the others?
Dreaming, which is applied imagination. Making, which is about design and prototyping. And finally, learning.
And learning is listed as autodidactics.
Correct. The ability to learn new skills at will. Neumeyer considers this the most important one, the thumb that helps you grasp all the other skills. If you can learn effectively, you can acquire any of the others as you need them.
Okay, so we've talked about personal mastery. What does this multiplier philosophy look like when we move into large-scale environments like leadership or civic impact? Does the math still work?
It absolutely does, but it requires a complete philosophy shift in leadership. It means moving away from what the sources call empire building.
Hoarding authority.
Hoarding authority, information, decision-making power, and moving toward distributed leadership. This is the ultimate leadership multiplier.
Can you get a clearer contrast between those two styles?
Sure, think of a major project like a crisis response. The empire builder insists on signing off on every tiny detail. They review every email. They have to be the smartest person in every room.
But they're the bottleneck.
They are the bottleneck. Their impact is linear, tied directly to their personal time and energy.
And the distributed leader.
The distributed leader focuses on empowering the people around them. They set clear guardrails, they communicate the vision with absolute clarity, and then they trust their teams to act.
So they're leveraging the skills of 10, 50, 100 other people.
Simultaneously. Their impact is multiplied across the entire organization.
And it sounds like that relies heavily on the foundational multipliers we discussed. You need high EI to trust your teams.
You do.
And strong communication to get that vision across clearly.
It's all connected. In civic engagement, for example, we see the same thing. Participation sharpens an individual's skills, like decision-making. But the effective civic leader acts as a catalyst.
Okay.
They encourage community members to take collective responsibility, creating a ripple effect of social change that is far beyond what a single person could ever achieve alone.
So if the goal is community outcomes, what discipline is crucial for these civic leaders?
Facilitating rigorous debate. That is a core multiplier discipline. Too often, discussions are shaped by the loudest voices, or just those with the highest rank.
Right.
Rigorous debate, when it's properly facilitated, ensures that the best, most evidence-based ideas, the optimal solutions, are what shape policy, regardless of who proposed them. It multiplies the quality of the system's output.
And once again, it seems like trust is just non-negotiable.
It is the social infrastructure for multiplication. Senior public leaders who intentionally build confidence and show that people matter see significantly higher engagement and better morale.
And less turnover.
And less turnover in their departments. That simple foundation of inclusion and trust is the social multiplier that makes distributed leadership even possible. Without it, empowerment just becomes chaos.
This deep dive has been incredibly clarifying. I think the main insight for you, the listener, is that expertise isn't just about depth in one field. It's about strategic combination and exponential application. Whether it's emotional intelligence enhancing your engineering skill or AI fluency accelerating your creative output, the goal is always strategic multiplication.
We've established that the smart learner is looking to combine skills using frameworks like talent stacking, which rewards complementary competencies, and meta skills, which identifies those essential, unreplicable human talents. The strategic learner understands that combining these is the fastest path to outsized impact.
So let's leave you with a final thought to mull over as you synthesize these concepts. If metacognitive ability improves dramatically through personalized AI education, making us better at thinking about thinking, what foundational human skills must we proactively protect and nurture to ensure we remain the master, not the digital agent we command?
Something to think about to the next deep dive.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.